This week, Planet Labs made history on an entire continent. They launched their first ever national satellite data program in Africa, partnering directly with the Government of Rwanda. And at the same time, a well-known institutional investor sold their position. And I want to give you a little bit more context into that story and explain why it's not as what it seems. Also, earnings are scheduled for September 3rd. So today I'm just going to be going over a few things that I'm watching, and I think those are the same things you should be watching too. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Guts Capital, where it takes guts to invest in what others overlook. I'm your host Jared, and I cover Planet Labs and the space economy with full transparency. So make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already, and do me a favor and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And as well, turn on your notifications so you'll know whenever I drop a new video. Now let's start with the Planet Labs and Rwanda story. So Planet and the Government of Rwanda just announced the first of its kind national satellite data program in Africa. This is Planet's first national program in the entire continent of Africa, monitoring agricultural and food security, tracking forest health and resilience, refining urban planning and zoning, and informing disaster planning and response. But here's the thing that makes this different from a typical government contract. Planet imagery will be made available to Rwanda's public universities to help train undergraduates and as well support the advanced research in Earth observation, as well as selected startups that focus on national interest will draw from Planet's daily data to help support economic development. So think about the things that Planet just built: a government program, a academic research program, and a startup ecosystem. All of these are running on Planet's data infrastructure. This is not just another customer, this is a platform. Rwanda is building its entire national geospatial intelligence capability with Planet Labs. And Rwanda isn't a random choice. It's one of Africa's fastest growing technology hubs. And it's consistently ranked one of the top innovation economies across the continent. Being one of the first movers in national satellite programs in Africa creates a blueprint that can be replicated across other countries like Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and Ethiopia. The African Union has 54 countries, and Planet just kicked open the door. Now let's talk about the recent institutional sale and what it means. Conestoga Capital Advisors, a well-respected asset management firm, disclosed they sold their Planet Labs position in Q2 of 2026. They said Planet Labs continue to execute well, and the enthusiasm surrounding their defense, AI, and satellite capabilities drove a significant increase in their valuation. They sold following a period of exceptional share price appreciation. They initially bought in under $10 and sold when the shares reached over $50. So you can't really blame them for wanting to take profits when the valuation seemed to be stretched. And that leads me into talking about the technicals or where the stock stands now, because I think there's a few things worth going over. After bottoming around that $19 and $20 range, Planet has begun to stabilize and form another uptrend. The stock has rose over 20% since that point, being backed by strong analyst ratings, or analyst buy ratings, and as well as optimism as we head into Q2 earnings. We've also had multiple daily closes above the 20-day moving average, and we're slowly approaching the 50 and the 200-day moving averages right around $26 to $27, which could act as a local resistance point before we could trend higher. Analyst consensus right now is 6 buy ratings and 2 hold ratings, with an average price target around $49.50, implying about 100% upside from current prices. And customer retention is over 110%. Meaning that customers are spending more time and money with Planet. That's a fundamental business quality indicator that's not talked about enough. Now let's move forward and talk about the most important event on the calendar right now. On September 3rd, Planet will report earnings after the market close. This is going to be another critical quarter, and here are a few things I'm personally watching out for. First is revenue growth. Last quarter was $94 million, up 42% year over year. The question is whether that growth rate holds or accelerates. Analysts are expecting continued strong growth, and the backlog of $906 million should provide some visibility. Second is the path to profitability. Planet guided for full-year adjusted EBITDA profitability. If they maintain or improve that guidance, the market should respond positively. Third is any update on Pelican 11 and Gen 2. Any updates on its performance and timeline for commercial data delivery will be significant for the long-term thesis. Fourth is a defense contract pipeline. With defense and intelligence revenue growing 65% last quarter, I'd like to hear what the pipeline looks like for the next 2 to 3 quarters. The fifth thing is Rwanda and international expansion commentary. The national program announcement this week is pretty significant, and I'd like for management to talk about what the Africa strategy looks like and what other geographies are in the pipeline. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel now if you haven't already, because the September 3rd earnings video will be pretty detailed oriented, since I plan on going through each and every number and analyzing how the company is performing. Now I want to take a second to zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because it's easy to lose sight of what the company is doing, when you're focused on the stock price performance and, the news headlines. In the last 3 months alone, they launched 9 Pelicans, as well as Gen 2 packed with NVIDIA chips. They opened a London office steps away from NATO and the UK Ministry of Defence. They've won contracts with Scotland, Wales, and now Rwanda. They had their CEO speak at the United Nations, and he was published in Time magazine. They joined the Russell 1000. They have 6 analyst buy ratings and a price target of $49. The business has never been this strong, the geographic expansion has never been this wide, and the technology has never been this advanced, and the stock price is only $24. So I can't tell you where the stock price is going, but what I will say is, based on the fundamentals and what the company is building, there's an opportunity on the horizon, and the next earnings could be the catalyst that brings it all together. And all right, so for a quick position update, like I said in the last video, I'm still holding every share I own. I haven't sold. And now, since we've broken past the $24 range, I am back in the green just slightly. So I do feel good about that. I didn't get shaken out of my position or anything like that. And my conviction is still strong. So I'm really just waiting to see how the company reports on the next earnings. So that's really going to let me know if I should reassess my thesis. But I do feel confident that they're going to, of course, report a good earnings and perform well. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's only a couple weeks away from the 3rd. So yeah, if anything changes, of course, you guys would be the first to know. And that's really what Guts Capital is all about. No hype, no bias investing or anything like that. We don't fall in love with these stocks. Full transparency, and it's all based on research. So, that's really what the channel was mainly founded on, and that's what I want to build on. All right, guys, like always, I hope you found this video valuable. And if you did, you can do me a favor by hitting the subscribe button, and as well as smashing the like button. I'll greatly appreciate it, and it will help boost these videos into the algorithm a little bit more, just so more people can come across Planet Labs and join the discussion. You can also drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about what we talked about today. What are your thoughts about the upcoming earnings? How do you think we're going to perform, or what kind of numbers you think management is going to drop? What do you want? What would you like to hear them talk about? Things like that. Drop a comment down below, and we can have a little discussion down there. And of course, guys, I'm your host, Jared, and you're watching Guts Capital, where it takes guts to invest in what others overlook. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.